Hey YouTube, we have another knife video today and we're going to be looking at the Kershaw Skyline. So I've been EDCing this for a couple weeks straight here, interchanging it out every couple of days I guess, but I've been carrying it a lot. And I have to say I've really been enjoying both the blade shape as well as the ergonomics on it and the overall carryability of it. And I think it's a really good budget kind of entry blade for someone who wants to really get into EDC and just doesn't have the price or the money to buy something like a Rick Hinton or MX-18 or anything of that sort. So let's jump into this review and kind of go over the pros and cons. So we'll start with the blade here. So the blade, as we can see, is it's a 14C28N, which is a Sandvik steel. It works really pretty well for overall EDC use. It's just fine for that. Works great. It's a really thin blade stock, and it has a hollow grind, and those two in a combination make this thing an awesome EDC slicer. So, like, cardboard and any food prep is absolutely amazing with this. Has a really nice blade shape, a lot of like straight with a little bit of belly towards the end. I love the stonewash on it. It's really well done. The blade stops are really nice. They can work as thumb studs. They're just not fantastic for it. That's a con there, is the blade stops don't work super well for thumb studs, as you can kind of see. You can do it. It's not the funnest. Yeah, the flipper tab works really well as a finger guard, as you can see there, and there's no jimping on there, which is kind of nice because this is more of a gentleman's folder type of deal. It's also made in the USA. It's a nice little plus. Continuing, or I guess cons on this, it does have a really fine tip, so if you do any kind of hard use stuff to it, you just got to be careful with the tip there. Otherwise, it came really sharp out of the box too, which I really enjoyed. It's always nice not having to put an edge right out of the box. Pros of the handle, I love the color. This is a BladeHQ.com exclusive. This is Natural G10, or Jade as they call it, which is really a sweet color. I love the simplicity of it. So you get this really just straightforward, there's no jimping. You get this really big kind of choil for your first finger, and then your other three line up there. And it doesn't have anything trying to be fancy with it, as you can see in other knives where they really try to make it look super fancy when it really doesn't. It just needs to work as a pocket knife. And I quite enjoy the overall feel and look of this. Just being a normal pocket knife. Some other pros of this is super easy to take apart with only having 3 screws, and then not having a like stop pin or anything, because that is what these are blade stops up here. So it's super easy to take apart. All it is this one liner and the 2 sides and the back spacer, and it has 2 washers on there. And for running on washers, it's super smooth. It gets centered up pretty easily. But just watch this flipping action here. I mean, really easy to light switch. It doesn't fall shut. Super easy just because it's on washers, and it's a super thin light blade. I guess a con here is the clip. A lot of people mention this in the reviews if you've seen any others. The clip is not great. As you can see, it rides very high in the pocket, where a lot of the blade is exposed when it is already a pretty small blade, being 3 1/8 inches here. For overall like blade cutting edge, I believe is right around there, and it's a really pretty slim package overall for the Skyline here, which makes it a really awesome EDC blade. A little bit smaller than I typically go, but it does work very well, and I'm very impressed with the overall quality of it, being only right around a $40 to $50 knife, depending on the coloration of the scales. I'm very impressed with it. Very high quality, very smooth action for what it is. I guess another con here is, as you can see with the grind, you get this beautiful grind here, nice hollow grind, but right towards the end here, you can see where the blade stop would be in the cutting path. Like you can see the plunge grind right there at the edge, but you see where like it would overlap. If you were like cutting something where you were using the whole edge of this, and it would get caught up over here, which isn't the best thing in the world, but it's also, I mean, it happens on a lot of other knives, especially even higher end knives, so I can't complain too much about it. I haven't really noticed that it hinders my ability to be able to cut anything. I love how it's a super slim and sleek package. I love how there's only one liner. It keeps it super light and makes it a great everyday carry blade. I would highly recommend it just due to the simple fact it's very affordable. It's a great slicer with that very thin blade stock with pretty good steel for the price being 14C28N. That's a steel. And it does pretty good for EDC tasks. All you have to do is really strop it up every once in a while. And it stays with a pretty good edge. I love the overall simplicity of it, but at the same time, it has a really thin tip. And the blade stops are in the way, and it could have a better clip, but you can always buy an aftermarket one, especially at the price of this only being right around $40. An aftermarket clip won't run you too much more. So, yeah, I really enjoy this and probably would recommend the Kershaw Skyline to anyone who would like it. But yeah, this has been my review of the Kershaw Skyline. So see you guys later on YouTube, man.